Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Manga Theater. My name is Ben, and another week, another episode of Death Note. Last time on, so many things happen. Light kill Ray Pinbird, now he has his fiancée coming after him. L whittled down the police to a small task force of 5, and we left off on the most agonizing cliffhanger. Finally, please, can we see L's face? It has been building up. We've been seeing little by little more of him, and I just want to see him. I want to see him so bad. I'm so interested to see what he looks like. They built it up. Now they gotta deliver, right? Right? I'm totally messing around, but I'm super duper excited for this week. This cliffhanger, I've been thinking about it all week, so I'm really excited to watch this with you guys. So let's just get on into it. Real quick, just some housekeeping stuff. Hit like, hit subscribe, maybe even leave a comment down below for the algorithm. It's the best way that you can support me as a content creator. I also have a Haikyuu review series where I'm going through every volume of the manga and talking about each one in excruciating detail. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, be sure to check that stuff out. The playlist, link to the playlist is down below. But yeah, you guys, let's get on into episode 6. I'm so excited for this week. I'm so excited. Ah! Oh, I know those bare feet.
I am L.
This is him?
Oh my god, I've seen him everywhere before. I'm actually... Oh.
What the hell was that?
If I were Kira, you'd be dead, Mr. Soichiro Yagami, chief of the NPA. Kira needs a face and a name in order to commit murder. Just do not give out your name so carelessly.
Exactly, that's what I was talking about last episode with the FBI Ray. Like, he probably should have told Ray about that.
Criminals whose names were never released publicly or whose names were spelled incorrectly in the media have not been targeted.
That's enough small talk for now. Come this way.
I just want to preface what I said earlier. I have seen this character everywhere. I don't know how I didn't piece it together that he was on Death Note and he was L. It just didn't cross my mind, but now it makes so much sense. He's in the opening. He's like facing down Light in the opening. Yeah. Man, that makes so much sense. But I really like his character design. The bag under his eyes. We'll talk about it more later. He's a little bit of a weirdo. He has some like similarities to like L's, kind of like personality. Which is fascinating.
Excuse me, L?
And from now on, I'll have to ask that you stop calling me L. It's Ryuzaki now, just to be safe.
Couldn't we cut down on the number of victims by keeping criminals' names from the news?
If we do that, we'll only be putting the general public at risk.
Yeah.
Kira is childish, and he hates losing. Well, I'm also childish, and I hate to lose. That's how I know.
Ryuzaki.
L's voice actor is brilliant. He's doing such a fantastic job with at the end, he's doing like this nice little thing. He's not doing full voice there, which I really enjoy. Okay, here we go. He's piecing everything together.
Met each of my challenges head on, and he's never missed an opportunity to return the favor. Now, what do you think would happen if we tried to use media restrictions to hide criminals from someone like that? If you choose to withhold the names of your worst criminals, I'll kill petty criminals or the innocent. I'm holding the whole world hostage, so who's it gonna be? I'm not the evil one here, but all those who oppose me by hiding criminals, you are truly evil. That's exactly how Kira thinks.
And he's 100% right. Light would probably, I don't know, Light might do something like that, but I don't know. He hasn't quite stepped into the realm of, I'm going to hold the citizens or the innocent hostage. So we'll have to see whether he does take that step.
Kira works alone. He had access to all our classified information. And listen carefully to what I have to say next. On December 14th, 12 FBI investigators entered Japan. In other words, during this window of only 5 days, Kira became aware of the FBI's presence and obviously felt threatened.
I got a hold of a file which contained all the names and faces of the FBI investigators in Japan, and I succeeded in killing each one of them. I have to make sure that no one ever finds out that I came into contact with Ray Pinbird.
You say that, but you did leave a string unattached.
What you doing?
December 19th to December 27th. Been most active during this period.
He waited 8 days so the FBI could investigate other suspects, which meant there'd be no timeline linking him to their deaths.
The soundtrack is such a banger. Like, the piano is like, it sets the mood so perfect. It's so great.
So, does anyone have any questions?
Actually, Ryuzaki, I do have one question for you. Does the fact that you've shown us your face mean that you've lost? By just being here, are you admitting defeat to Kira?
I have lost the battle, but I'm
Lose
not
the
gonna
war.
lose the war.
Yeah.
This is
Good
the
line.
first time I've ever put my life on the line. I want to show Kira that we're all willing to risk our lives if that's what it takes, and that justice will prevail no matter what.
This last scene that just happened is, in terms of writing and how it worked, it might be one. It's in contention for the best scenes in the show, up there with like the really, really, suspenseful scenes.
Just one clue, a single decisive factor is all I need.
A single piece of evidence is all it would take.
Just one thing.
It's the female FBI agent. Yep. Man, this show is so good. This show is so good. I hope you guys are enjoying watching this with me. If you are, hit like and subscribe, This is great. We're having a great time.
The biggest risk I've taken so
this is
far
awesome.
was that bus jacking incident. Both the police and Elle don't know that Kira can kill people by means other than a heart attack. If anyone were to discover that fact, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Your father's been pulling overnighters with no change of clothes, so you're going to bring these to him.
But, Mom, I totally promised my friends that I'd go out with them today.
Why don't I go? The break.
Thanks, Light. I owe you one next time.
Oh, you're bringing a page. Planning to kill someone?
No, but lately I've been bringing a page with me every time I go out, just in case.
I think somebody said in the comments a couple weeks ago that all the pages in the Death Note are unlimited. So it's like a respawn ability, which I think is fascinating.
And there was the bus jacking. There's no way it was a coincidence.
She's smart. She's very smart. Now all that needs to happen is she needs to connect with Elle.
Please, I need to speak directly with someone from the Special Investigation Task
Or is
Force.
Light
It's
gonna get
urgent.
to her first?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't help you.
What's going on?
I have information relating to the Kira
What?
investigation.
The Kira investigation?
What are you doing? What are you doing? Why would you say that?
Hi, I'm Detective Soichiro Yagami's son, Light Yagami. I brought my father a change of clothes, but it doesn't look like he's in.
Why would you say that? Why?
So, Light, does this mean you're going to be helping us with the Kira investigation too?
Sure, if all goes well, maybe I'll find Kira before Elle does.
Find him before Elle does. I have to tell them in person.
Excuse me, Father is actually in charge of the Kira investigation. If you'd like, I could pass your message on to him.
If Light spills the beans, or if Light gets her to spill the beans, he is so lucky. He is so lucky.
I'm sure my father will be calling me back once he checks his messages. When he does, I'll give you the phone and let you talk to him. You'll have to trust my father and I, which I hope won't be too difficult for you.
Why is he so happy? She walked right into that one, didn't she?
I love Ryuk's commentary.
We've been talking and I just realized I don't even know your name. My name is Light Yagami.
My name's Shoko Maki.
Miss Maki, right?
Kira's able to control their actions before he kills them, but there's more to it. Kira can kill in a number of ways, not just with a heart attack.
Light's like, yeah, this girl's gotta die.
Who is this woman?
Light's like, yeah,
I don't
she
think
gotta
anyone
go.
else knows. I'm almost positive that someone I know may have met Kira.
Met Kira?
FBI agents who came to Japan to investigate Kira.
An FBI agent who met Kira. Ray Penber.
Is something wrong?
Nothing. I'm sorry to hear that he passed away. So, what makes you think he met Kira on that bus?
Because 8 days after that bus was hijacked, he died. The same man had attempted to rob a bank 2 days before he hijacked that bus. Then he dies in an accident, just like that. I mean, really, what are the odds? Anyway, what stands out to me is that the hijacker died in an accident. In other words, it suggests that heart attacks aren't the only way Kira can kill people.
Whoa. Light in the background looking sinister.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I think that's a bit of a leap of faith.
If Kira was controlling the hijack...
Oh man, why are you telling him this? Stop telling people.
I've been wondering about that bus jacking ever since my fiancé first told me about it.
Oh man.
But he told me one thing.
What did he say?
That he'd been put in a situation where he had to show his FBI ID to someone. Whoever saw his ID that day is responsible. for the deaths of all the agents.
Unbelievable. She figured it out. This must be the oversight Light was worried about.
Yep.
Your theory is worth looking into, that's for sure. The person your fiancé showed his ID to on the bus that day, it had to be Kira.
That's right.
That was close. This woman. If she'd spoken to the police before I met her, it seems there's a god on my side after all. And not just a god of death.
Wow. Good episode. Discussion time. The dialogue in this episode was pristine. Maybe that's something I haven't really touched on in the Death Note series so far. It's the dialogue of something you would see like one of the really, really, really good Western shows. Now, I'm not saying that anime from Japan never has good dialogue. That's just an incorrect statement. The dialogue that I'm talking about is down to earth. It's the dialogue that is very seemingly conversational. And maybe this is a little bit attributed to the dub, but the way that they talk and how things are worded, it's very reminiscent to me of things like Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. Now, obviously, Breaking Bad's dialogue is so consistently fantastic from start to finish, but what I mean the similarities is that the conversational tone tell the story without telling you the story. Now, of course, it's anime, so after the end of the dialogue, most of the time, Light or Ryuk or L, they summarize what just happened in that dialogue. But to be honest, if you take that out, you would still get a major part of the story, which makes the dialogue just so fantastic. And it's so not stale. It's all interweaving and waving into one another. It's fantastic. 2 major scenes happened in this episode. The first one was when we first met L. Now, I've seen this character everywhere, right? It was probably kind of hard. It would have been hard to never see him anywhere, being as big of an anime fan as I am. But this is my first time reacting to Death Note, or it's my first time, I've never read it, I've never watched it, I've only seen promotional posters and all of that stuff. But I have seen this character before. I've seen him, on Instagram Reels. I didn't quite know where he was from, but we also see him in the opening. I just don't know why it didn't click in my brain that could be L. Now, when you look at it, it seems so obvious, but I was just like, man, it just didn't even pass through my brain. But L is now getting into a scenario where he's ready to strike, right? He's getting into a position now where everything is being built up perfectly, and he's like, okay, now we take it at a step-by-step basis with these people. And it's going to be so fascinating because he's so smart. He's just so similar to Light. And I really, really like their similarities. Like, I feel like if they weren't having this, battle or war, as L puts it, they could be really, really good friends because they are very similar, I would say. They're both very intelligent. They both hate to lose. They both have their own strong sense of justice. And yeah, I think that's just a super, super fascinating thing. And I like that L even said, yeah, I lost, because it's completely true. The last couple of episodes, ever since episode 2, Light has been kind of running rings around the law enforcement and the FBI, kind of doing his own thing and getting away with it. But now L is now seeing that and is realizing, okay, I will take this loss, or I will take this L. I guess you could say that. I'll take this loss to make the next win even sweeter, or to make the next win the decisive one. So yeah, I think that's fairly fascinating. I also liked how L deduced why he wouldn't stop giving out criminals' names to the public. Things Light would immediately put innocence in danger, because we haven't seen anything like that from L. But are we going to get a point where L has to take that jump, where L has to take the jump and he has to kill a couple of innocent civilians. As of right now, I'm like, I see it from both sides, you know. I'm more towards the side of the police. Like, I kind of want Light to be figured out because I don't think his sense of justice is quite the correct way. But it's interesting to see Light, and I still sympathize with him. However, when he takes that step towards that way, you know, the person who we're rooting for could become a bad guy. And of course, that's a negative character arc where they go, where we're rooting for them and we're like, yeah, kill those people. And then they take it in, and then they take a step in a direction more towards that way. And then we're like, whoa, I have been cheering this on the entire time. This is really bad. So we'll see if that happens with Light. The second scene was with the girl. I think her name was Mai or Maki. Very silly, telling people that she has confidential information, which she should not be doing, you know. Now, I understand she wants to trust the, you know, head of the task force son, but also, like, you shouldn't just be saying that stuff willy-nilly. And Light even says, man, I got lucky, because if he told, or if she told the task force this before she told me, I would be in trouble. I would be in trouble. And Light says, you know, I got a god on my side, not just a god of death, because, you know, on one side is her, and the other side was Ryuk, which was a very cool shot. I wonder, I guess that she's probably going to be playing a much bigger part in the series, it seems. And I love the way they introduced her. They introduced her very, very minutely and very quietly. And now she's a big player in the game of Death Note. I'm almost 100% sure that she gave him a false name, and I bet you Light is going to figure that out later as well. She's probably not going to give it out free willy-nilly. I think Light is smart enough to figure that out. But yeah, you guys, I was super excited to see this episode this week, and it did not disappoint. The cliffhanger from last week had me thinking a whole bunch of stuff. I would have done a 2 for last week, but I'm rehearsing a show right now, so I don't really have the time to record 2 episodes for one and edit it as well. But yeah, this episode did not disappoint. It was really exciting. It engrossed me throughout the entirety of the episode. And Death Note, man, it's becoming one of my favorite series. It has encapsulated me from start to episode 6, and you know, for every episode to do that, for every episode to be on point, is a feat to behold. So we're gonna have to see. Hopefully it continues it throughout the entirety of the series, and we have just a good story to sit back, watch, and talk about together. So yeah. Anyway, you guys, be sure you hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below what you thought was the best part of this episode or the best part of the series so far. Yeah, that's the best way that you can support me. Once again, go down below. I have podcasts, separate reviews. Check all that stuff out, and I'll catch you guys next week for episode 7 of Death Note. Bye, you guys.